No problem. Yes, I'm streaming live. Yes. Oh, but the internet. I'm live, man. Anybody? Oh, it's threatening to rain. I've started the live stream. So I'm actually streaming like what's going on outside there. So my internet has stabilized. I've seen that the rain is.
The rain will be broke down. The man said before.
These guys no bring the water from here. Then critical.
I can't go. But this week I know it's going to
But it could blow it there. Wind can blow it away. My phone is down. It's down there recording. I just want to check up the live stream distance. I can ask you. If they spend too long with the lunch, they'll be running late. About 15 minutes ago. Yeah.
make a fake control now.
The rain is what I'm scared about. Yeah, it's actually screaming. What is it? Yeah, I hope no one touches it. I pray. I hope, yeah, but I'm going to reposition it very soon. Okay, let me. But when
Because if I tell my parents, they will side with me. And if he tells his parents, they will side with him. That is the best foundation for breaking marriage. Because everybody else will be telling you what to do and how bad your spouse is. a medal. It is not a trophy. And it is not your status in life. Your status in life is that God created you and gave you certain talents. And you have things to perform. But you perform it both in the comfort of what the Almighty has endowed you with. I believe that if you go into marriage and you love your partner and your partner loves you, there's no balance. Because your value, your aim, your goals are valued by your partner, and therefore all that our husbands supposed to help us with some of the things because we all leave home in the morning and come into the evening. Now, what happens if you're married to a primitive husband? Honestly, very primitive, who thinks that you are the woman, no matter what you pick food from the freezer and leave it in the morning, expecting him to just warm it and maybe put your egg on fire. He gets home and he's sitting waiting for you. You just touch base and the next question is, can I have my food? And when it comes to maybe about it, how do you balance? And if you talk, you are in quote disrespectful. You are not submissive. I mean, it becomes your middle name, Abrumo. And it is painful because you leave home in the morning, you come in the evening, you expect the husband to help you. He doesn't. When it comes to responsibility, he's now sharing with you, and it's so, I don't know, but I have a lot of friends also going through the same thing. And I don't know what is wrong with our modern men. They think primitive about certain things, and they assume modern at a point. It is becoming too obvious in a lot of homes. How do we get those things off our head? Yes, so make sure you summarize your question so that maybe of us can ask wonderful questions. Yeah, it's a very good question. Right now you're already married, so you can't change your partner or start anything. But there's so many ways you can deal with this situation. Don't you have happy hours in the house? Just you and him. I need to respect you. Is anybody under 18? I don't think so. If you're under 18, please leave the room. I beg. I don't want to be an irresponsible mother. You see, the simple issue is that we all have certain upbringing. The kind of upbringing he had, you didn't have. And I can assure you, I've been at women's conferences where I've said categorically that we are the cause of the attitude of the men because we bring them up. And we send them up and we tell them you can't do this, and the woman will tell them the bad stuff, So basically, if you come with this baggage of what you so nice people have seen, it unfortunately becomes your duty to find ways to bring him on board. And that's very true. Look, talking is a wonderful thing. It's a tool. When you say something long enough, that is what we call brainwashing. Sometimes we forget the power of brainwashing. You brainwash him to feel and enjoy the fact that married to the partner. And it will take some time. But you have to continue consciously saying things to him in a practical way. Don't go there angry and I'm doing this and I go to work and I come and I bring the baking home and what are you talking about? No. When you are in bed or your happy hours, I don't know, you can have it in all corners of the house, even when you go out some night and say, oh, sometimes I just don't doing this, you can start doing it. You know how stuff is at work. You know him. So you find the thing that when you say, you start coming closer to you like you did when you wanted to marry. This is it. You keep talking and saying nice, situational kind of explanations and so on, but it's the truth. You tell the truth in a palatable way. Somebody was telling me that if the truth will break a whole nation down, you don't say, you find ways diplomatically behind the door, and then you get to say it in such a way that it won't cause damage. Because the truth has to be known. A lot of men know they know what they're doing. They know it has become their right. And it's a nice right to have. So they're not going to let it go so easy. So spend at least 3 months working on him gradually. And when he does it, please reward him. With a smile, with some everything that he likes, so that he knows that, hey, I need to, if I want this thing, I rush quarry. Okay? So that's how you go about it, because already you are in the marriage, you can't change your partner. Okay? If you are sweating, you have to do something about it. Otherwise, your marriage will be not a happy one. You are not content. See, happiness and contentment are two different things. You have to be happy and content. Okay? It is your job to let him understand that he gets more mileage out of that partnership if you all work together based on that. Okay? It can be solved. And if you need help, come and call me.
Thank you. I think now we'll have to ask all the questions. And then we can, if it's Madam Mariam, if Madam Logan, if myself too, we can. But if it's this issue, somebody will ask that, did you say it when you were in a relationship? You didn't say it. Please open your arms. Because when in relationship intimacy starts, then you can't see anything again. If that was 1,000, they say, maybe I'll open for you to screw too far. But that's what I'm also looking out for. But most of the time when there are things said in, you're thinking to close the door. So let's be very, very careful. Now let the questions come and then we'll.
Thank you. My name is One thing. I want what you say, don't tell anybody. Someone, I think I will not agree with you. Why? Because before you marry, you have counsel. If it's your parents, that one maybe I will agree with you. That parents could be a third person. But your counselor is somebody who has been professionally trained to help you manage your problems, to unpack the problems that you have, so that the marriage can work. So, if you have problems with your marriage and you keep it to yourself alone, that is why when you go outside, most people have these heart attacks, broken hearts, and those. But in Ghana, you don't have it. You first send with your counselor, and your counselor will tell you what to do. And again, marriage is about God is divine. So you can know all the strengths and the weaknesses. You can do all the communication. You can accept him. You can know all the temperaments. But I think the God factor must be highlighted, because two heads are always better than one. So when you highlight the God factor and you know that you, me, and my God, in our local, when we have something like triple, that is here in confidence. When it is three, it is highly broken. So you don't rely on the two of you alone, but the three of you. So when the God factor comes in, then the protector for winning comes. Thank you.
That's it. So we here, I don't know whether we need to speak out, but we need to be wise at it. know where you want to speak out, know who you want to tell your story, know who you want to give that information out to. That one is very, very important. Just like, yes, ma'am, please pass on to Adia Auntie. Yeah.
I don't know whether your question is started. Dokuma, you mentioned that, sorry,
Akuma.
Right, sorry, Akuma.
Yes.
Mega. Alright. You mentioned that in relationship, you should look out for what about with a good girl who don't go intimate. So we are married. I've been married for 20 years. And I was married I'm very proud to say I was married to her. And then I was a virgin. So I'm not to her. We are proud of you. And I believe there are other people who are like me. Who could be sitting here, who are not married, 30,000, but they could still be there. So there are people who are good girls who may not go to the man's house to go and sleep. To see these things. So when I got married, that's when I realized that Cocoa was my favorite. I have to change my favorite. Because my husband is that yes, I was like on the job training. I got my 20 years ago. It was on the job training. Okay. Like as Eva said, we put together. How can you be eating like not moving body? And I won't give body, I don't moving that.
No, you can. For your favorite food, you can.
Well, okay, and then the other one. About I see this is someone saying that not saying that you should share with. I don't agree. Personally, well, I don't know. But for 20 years, my partners don't know what has been happening in my house. I go on my knees and I pray. If I have a good friend who I think was also married, I have one of them. She knows my issues. We share together. But I will go to my counselor or my pastor. So that is the problem.
Okay, just so that we don't forget. First of all,
I think that I just a minute. I've seen, I don't mention the name of my church. I don't know where to buy it. In my church, I've seen a few marriages crumble down on because the lady decided to share what was happening in the marriage with the pastor. And the marriages are gone. I got involved in one, and then that's what we think I said to them, my daughter, please don't get involved. Why should she carry things from the house? So what's up? Also, no problem. Okay. So, telling pastors things and they're very dangerous because they end up telling the people, do this, do that. But they will not do to their husband. Do this. Or let's say, you think that's what happened with one of them. Go on, keep on, go on, and then I know, go on.
yes, please, when we talk about values and so on, it's the right thing to do. But we know that at this forum, we know that some people feel okay to go and do some of the things that maybe some others won't do. And they do it in good faith. So I think that, yes, there's some caution to be placed there because when I'm talking to young people about sex, what I tell them is that it is you who receive something. It is contaminated. You can contaminate. Number two, when two people go into a room and come out, you are the only person everybody knows has done something wrong. It never shows from the man. So that's the only reason why you shouldn't start when you are not ready. That is why I say back when you go and marry and you have the rest of your marriage life to do it anyhow and anywhere and anything you want. So basically that's the issue with that. In terms of counseling, I'm sorry. I used to be a church goer, but now I don't go to church.
I worship God. There's a big difference. I'm trying to be a very good Christian. If I was a Muslim, I'm trying to be a very good Muslim. But practicing, some of our church people, they are not trained counselors. Please. They are not trained counselors. They counsel you to death, and I can give you examples of where they force people to go back together, and one has died, and it happens always to be the woman. The reason why I said don't talk to anybody, if the person is criminally molesting you, mentally, that one, you go to the authorities. I'm sorry, you don't even go to your parents, because that is criminal. But where it is all the usual fighting and anger and so on, I'm telling you, believe you me, don't tell anybody. Even your friends can delay your marriage because they'll give you bad advice. If he's doing this, you leave him. If he's doing this, you do this to him. Meanwhile, you're only angry at that moment and you still love your husband. Why do you want somebody to spoil your marriage? The last thing I want to say is that please, in any relationship, there's the up and down. Okay? Accept it as your baseline and make sure that it doesn't take over all the other good things in that marriage. Okay? So we'll keep adding things to it, but please, marriage is sacred. It is just between you, your husband, and God. But that means that you pray. You don't go out and tell anybody. And I will sit here and say, please, if somebody calls themselves a counselor, make sure that they have a certificate and they can prove that they have that training. Otherwise, you will be told this of this. And please read the Bible for yourself. There's a whole chapter on this submissiveness. It doesn't say just submit. The husband is also supposed to love you. The husband is also supposed to submit to you in certain ways. Okay? So let's not listen to some of these preachers. Stop listening to preachers. That's why your parents took you to school and you have children. Read the Bible and interpret it. And don't tell your child to read the Bible and pray every day. Tell him or her, learn the Bible and practice it every day. You get better mileage out of it.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time, but we'll allow 3 more questions and then we'll answer. So 1, you are kind of ready to answer. Your hand is up. Oh, okay. Okay, so.
Hi, my name is Nanama. It's rather unfortunate. Don't change yourself for life. Don't change yourself for life. You are you. What are the person you when you are number 2? You are you. Just be yourself. Let the body as a body. What the one I need minimum. That is it. Yes. And then you put your right on the other side. What do you do? Because no action in class. I know myself is also from class. So
That's great. Judy, thank you so much. Let somebody else.
And please don't listen to counselors. They are all.
Oh, no,
please. You're not repeaters.
No, we can't hold them down. No, I want to agree. The wise ones are there, please. The wise ones are there. The same thing, the qualified ones, the pastors, we know them. Please, yes? Mom, sweetheart, have you gotten this? Do you have the microphone, please? Sure. Shall we listen to our sisters, please? I'm begging you. Let's listen. Okay. You are our last, last but not, okay, Sarah, please. Let's give a chance. Okay. Yes?
My name is Exigency.
Good.
Yes, I'd like to, this question is directed to Madam. Like the friendship issue that you said, like you marry your man, you are the best of friends over the years, over 20 years or 18 years. Then as we climb the social ladder, all of a sudden, the society has taken him away from you, and let's say you're 5'6". He's never home, and when he's home, he's still doing one thing or the other. How do you manage such an issue?
Please.
I'm so grateful for this discussion, and I want to thank the organizers for floating this, because clearly it's resonating with us. We don't get enough time to talk about these personal issues, and clearly they are things that are very pertinent to us. I was just going to say that we're all very different people. We all have different beliefs, value systems, and so on. And by the same token, every marriage has its own constitution. You know? Therefore, my own belief, the most important value, no one can give us what we don't give ourselves. The most important value going into a marriage, maintaining a marriage, is know yourself. Know yourself. Know what you want, know what you need, know what what your expectations are, know what your bottom lines are. Because when the trouble comes, you're the result that you rely on. And it also determines the choice. We need to ask ourselves, why are we going into marriage? Why are we going into marriage? What is the purpose? What is it I want out of a marriage? Because that influences the choices we make in terms of partners, in terms of marriage partners. We don't need to be married to people who don't honor. Nobody said you have to be married. You don't need to be married to people who don't honor. You know? And it's fine not to be married. I'm not married, by the way. It's fine.
Thank you. So, sweetheart, Auntie, hello? You're not listening here. You asked the question and she's going to answer you, so please listen.
Society never takes away your husband. Your husband takes himself away. You see, this is why I keep saying it's a partnership and you have to work at it. Your husband should, okay, understand that he's in a partnership with you. Now we keep saying behind a successful man there's always useless. How did he become successful? It means you were holding the fort for him, okay? You made the necessary sacrifices. Now that he's getting it, shouldn't he be sacrificing for you to come up there as well? So you see, when it happens, know that sometimes as individuals, maybe he didn't mean to be bad, but he's getting carried away. Bring him back home. Okay? Talk to your husband. Don't say he's this, he's that, he doesn't want this, he doesn't want that. It's wrong. Get those silent hours, those happy hours, and talk to him. Explain to him what you're going through. Okay? And gradually get him to accept that there's something wrong. Because maybe he thinks you also like the fact that he's a big man. Okay? Now, if you get carried away with the big manism, then he will get carried away with the small womanism. And it's comfortable. So don't give him that comfort level. Don't fight with him, but explain to him. Please hear me carefully. Explain. Always explain. This is what is happening. This is what is happening to us. This is what is doing to me. And please, when it becomes very critical, pop the question. Do you love me? Simple. Do you love me? Because that's why you got married. If that is not the reason why, then let me tell you the hard fact. Maybe you don't need to be there. Please. Marriage is not something that you have to have like, life. It's not life. It contributes to life. I don't think God gave you one purpose in life. Your children are there because you are not happy with your marriage. They are suffering. So don't punish your kids so that the society thinks that you are missing when it doesn't prove anything. It's a burden you don't want to have, and you are cheating yourself, you're cheating your children, and in fact you're cheating your husband too because he thinks he's doing fantastically well. Maybe when you say you are going, then you realize what he's going to lose. And that's not a good place to be. And when you finally get fed up because you're not talking to him, you will leave that marriage and he's going to suffer. Because all of a sudden he realizes that he's lost the best friend that he ever had. And therefore, you shouldn't be surprised if you start falling. You're helping him, you're helping yourself, you're helping your children. If you speak to him pose the question, do you love me, and make sure that this is not what you see to work out. God has better things for you to do than to see this problem. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Gipsy Auntie is going to be, I don't know whether Anita is going to give us another time, but I think our time is up. But, well, okay, what? Well, all right, all right. Sure. Go ahead, my dear. I beg you, those of you married, stop putting pressure on those who are not married to get married. Otherwise, when you go marry your husband, you're married. You can pray, you can advance. Yeah, every time. Oh, then, listen, I went to my senior MD, went to a program in my school. I was being myself, funny and all that. Then somebody passed, I was holding the microphone. Please, you can't people to become constant. Not everybody can take the pressure. You make some of them become so miserable and desperate. And yes, they will marry your husband. So because for all you know, they are, hitting on them. And they are resisting because they know you and they don't want to do that. So I beg, enjoy yours, pray for them, advise them, but don't put the pressure. Thank you. All right, we have a 30 minutes. Shall we have some more questions? Please. Yes. Okay. Oh, last four. Okay, last four. Thank you. My name is Mercy, and I just want to make a contribution regarding what my sister said, that as your husband is climbing up the ladder, there's a gap. It's a communication gap. And for what I have experienced, I've been married by the grace of God for 23 years. Wow. And since then, from the day we got married, we've been working together. We sit in the same office. We sit by the same bed. He's doing his work, he's doing his work. And what helped me was, I can't interest in what my husband does. So we continue to talk and talk and talk. Because men's passion is their job. Paul knows my husband, Anita knows my husband. He's a passionate man about his work. So I realized that that was the only way we could come together. So my sister, that's my sister. Get interested in what you have done. Thank you. The next person here. I also make a contribution. And personally, I think when the men are rising, when the men are rising, when we get married to them, we should give them alone to rise. We should market ourselves. When they are rising, please try and find a way to also rise. Otherwise, that is time that to get down to the sometimes some of we women, we think that we always have to rely on the men. No, it's not true. It's not true at all. Let's do something so that they can also respect us. The moment you decide to always put, rely on the men in everything, that's the way they treat you. But when they realize that you can do everything on your own, they can never do that again. Please, like as it is today, it's better to be alone rather than going to a marriage like you're not really helping. That you wouldn't so happy to be miserable every time. No. So please, I wanted to say more, but there's no time. This started on prayer. Thank you so much. Yeah. Quickly. Okay. So I also want to just add that if you're in there and you are not happy, you are not comfortable, please don't be scared to come out. If you come out, okay, just make sure you're ready. You can sustain yourself. Don't tell yourself, oh, where am I going? If I leave him, what will I do? All those kind of things don't help us. Please just make sure that you are also contributing to the marriage and you have the courage to walk out and
There's nothing wrong with separation. If you're in there and you know you've had enough, please come out a little. If you really want your work to him, he'll chase you. He'll keep chasing you until you say, okay, I'm ready to come back. And then when you come back, he'll respect you better than that. I'm a very young lady who's been married with, I was married to a man with 5 kids. Okay? And I've tried my best. I trained what Napoleon couldn't do. Okay? I was bold enough to just walk out. And now he's the one chasing me. And so it's just an advice I'm giving. If you know you've had enough, please don't hesitate to come out. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the next one, thank you.
Okay, yes, ma'am. All right. Mine is a question on the right. You realize I have a case of 2 people I know, a couple. The lady wanted to further the education, the man also wanted to. The lady said, you go first. When you finish, then I will go. After his university education, the lady wanted to go and he asked, what do you need degree for? All right. So, yes. So, when the lady came, he said, choose between your marriage and degree. So, if it comes to this point, what should be the decision of the lady? Go to school. Full stop. Look, you keep forgetting that your husband is a human being. If he's always winning, who doesn't want to win? He knows that if he pushes you enough, you give in. It's your fault. You tell him, you know what, we had an agreement. You got, you come, what did you need a degree for? So if you had a reason to get a degree, I also have a reason to get one. One draw. If you don't deal with it that way, and you stay in that marriage, I will not be surprised if he leaves you and marry somebody with a better education. And I've seen this happen before. Don't sell yourself short. We are all different, yes, but there are principles that don't change. And it's a very simple one. If I am having the upper hand, why should I relinquish it without a fight? And if we came from a culture where the man is always being propped up and, pampered and you are doing everything else, now that you're wising up, why do you want to go back to Baton? It doesn't work. And I keep telling you, it's not helping you. If you know that your husband is doing something you don't like and you are sitting quietly there with it, it's not his fault. It's your fault. Get the courage. And please, your parents spend time on you, money on you, sweat on you, the same as his parents did. You have already given up a chunk of your life by calling yourself missing something else, and he keeps his name. When you get children, you are not part of it. They take his name. Yet you carry the baby for 9 months, and then you nurture and care because he can't breastfeed. And bottled milk is not that good for a child, by the way. Breast milk is the best way to bring up all your children. Now, when you go through all of that, and he doesn't see it, what is your problem? It means there's something wrong with him. So if you continue to sit there, not ask for changes to be made so that both of you are happy, I do not blame the man. I blame you. Sit up. Take your claim. You're a human being. I'm not saying fight with your husband. That's not it. You are partners. The word partner is the key. And the biggest key is love. So if you don't love me, I go my go, you go your go. If we don't love ourselves, let's work together and help each other to achieve our goals. Because when I bring 200 and you bring 200, it's a stronger household. If I sit at home and I don't bring, very soon he gets tired and he leaves the house and walks around. So you see, there has to be that partnership so that everything works. So please, don't complain about your husband. Do something about it. And if it's not working, please walk out. you are better off. Thank you.
Thank you too. I'm giving this to Mariam to also say, and then we'll run up finally from you.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Hello. Okay, when I was doing my presentation, I said massage with ego, and that's what we've been talking about. And I just have two quick comments and then we'll round up. And I'm going to focus on what Kitty said and what the primitive husband's wife said. When I was talking, I was conscious of this single older woman factor because I didn't get married then. And for 10 years, I didn't have a child. So I've been through the old and not married. I've been through the childless cycle. So when I'm talking to professional women, I'm so careful not to dwell on marriage. Although we go blah blah blah, but so thank you so much for that comment. I think that for me, what has worked is I told myself I'm going to be my husband's girlfriend forever. I'm not a wife. I'm his girlfriend. So with that in mind, I still do the call things and the tea and cry a little. The men, they feel their heart, they are soft. They are not hard at all. We have the power. We must know how to use the power. So please, use your women's soft skills. Cry. I mean, boasting. If you go and you know how to learn it won't work. Because whether we like it or not, it is a man's world. But we have the power. We have the sometimes it comes in a certain way. We say, I know they will agree with me, but sometimes it's still there, little. It's there, but we have the power. So the important thing is to know how much power you have and how to use it to your advantage. Timing is crucial. Sometimes we are full of emotions and we attack our spouses. But we should please sleep over the issues and then use diplomacy and policy. You see, I do think that we have the power.
Are we listening, please? You're running out, so please.
We have the power, so just use the power we have. Use your political skills, all the skills, but know how to use it. That's what I mean by massage the ego. And don't go fighting them because you can't win. Thank you.
Thank you. You can, yes. And I want to talk.
What I always tell most of the young men is that it's a man's world, but ruled by women like this. And I think that the problem sometimes the mindset of most of the men. Because I can still remember my wife's friend had to divorce because she was going for her degree. And they have to divorce on that ground. Now, in my case, when we got to that place, I said, look, you go for yours, I can leave. So it's about the mindset. And I think it's high time our mothers, because sometimes even our mothers that contributed to this thing.
Yes.
So I think it's high time that the mothers should conscientize the young men and the men in general that what makes you a strong man is not a man that is women.
Yes.
I always say that a strong man is a man that can withstand the pressure of the woman. And it's about the mindset. And personally, I mean, on my own promotion and on different platforms, I've really been talking to different gentlemen on that. Because I came from a very terrible family. in terms of marriage. I've seen my mom do cooking and all these things. So I made a vow that look, I have to be a different husband and a different father. And I think that the more we get a platform to speak on this thing and conscientize the young man, it will really make a positive impact. There's something I always say, if the man is the head, who carries the load in the house? In the head. So,
That makes you think very.
certainly,
Yeah.
but you know, sometimes you go to some homes
Yeah.
and you see the woman carrying all the water, do all the work. But the if you are the head, carry the load.
Okay.
You know, it's not that the thinking partner. And sometimes the women too are part, not that the women too are part. But they believe if the man does not maltreat you or beat you, somebody made a funny statement last time that he met a man beating a young lady. When he went to stop them, he stopped them.
Should it be cry every time? Sometimes you have to be serious. Madam Esther here said, with her husband on her, that give you about one thing. Make sure you don't get to the policy. And then you make sure, or that man almost sign something. If you think your husband is that hard, when he's writing, wait, black and white on paper is in the that. Let him put it there. So when he gets your pen, he cannot tell you any story. But the power is